John Blackthorne and his ship reach Japan. Several samurai head inside to investigate. They find dead sailors who perish due to starvation. Blackthorne attempts to flee, but they manage to capture him. The year is 1600 in Osaka. The reigning Taiko has died, leaving behind an heir too young to rule. 5 warriors lords are now trapped in a bitter struggle seeking the title of Shogun. Yoshi Toranaga and his army go to Osaka Castle and meet Lord Ishido Kazunari, who accuses Toranaga of aligning power against the council since Taiko's demise. He consented to 6 marriages, but Toranaga assures them that he'll never be the first to break any peace. Lord Kazunari then accuses him of taking the heir's mother, Lady Ochiba, to his castle at Edo as hostage, but Toranaga explains that the Lady Ochiba's sister, his daughter-in-law, is in labor. Yoshi Toranaga learns that the council has voted to demand the lady's return under penalty of impeachment. He has 7 days to release her from Edo, and then they'll vote on his fate. Toranaga then sends General Hiromatsu to Ajiro to look into the ship. Blackthorne tells his sailors that they reached Japan, but they don't believe him. Blackthorne wants to negotiate with the Japanese as they have goods to trade, and say that they're just merchants lost at sea looking for safe passage home. The Japanese soldiers, along with Omi, inform Blackthorne that Lord Yabushige has ordered him and his crew to leave the boat. A scuffle erupts between them, so Blackthorne comes up alone to speak for his men. He explains that they are merchants and he requests to be released to the safety of their ship. Omi gets a priest to translate what Blackthorne says. The latter asks for his men to be freed, but the priest replies that it's not possible, prompting Blackthorne to disrespect them. He gets beaten for it and pissed on. He's then taken to Lord Yabushige. They bring another priest to translate what Blackthorne says, but the priest calls John a pirate who came to war on a peaceful Portuguese settlement. Blackthorne realizes that the Japanese think Portugal is the only flag in Europe and don't know about the British existence, which means he's the first English sailor to reach their Catholic treasury. Blackthorne rips off the priest's cross necklace and screams that he's not one of them. He stomps on it, saying that he won't be spoken for by Catholics. Lord Yabushige orders his soldiers to bring John to a house and bathe him, because the priest doesn't have proof that John is actually a pirate. Lord Yabushige praises Kashige Omi for doing a good job managing the village since his father's death. Just then Hiromatsu arrives on the island and learns that Yabushige seized the foreign ship and its crew. Hiromatsu asks about the 20 cannons, 500 muskets, and several crates of silver and gold on board the ship. Yabushige learns that Lord Toranaga confiscated the ship and all its contents. At first he refuses to hand it to them, but eventually he agrees to avoid any bloodshed. He looks at Omi, saying Hiromatsu knew everything, which means there is a spy in his village. Hiromatsu decides to take Blackthorne to Osaka, but Lord Rodriguez wants to take Blackthorne with him, get him drunk, and then blow his head off. Rodriguez is actually taking Blackthorne to Osaka because Lord Yoshi Toranaga wants to meet him. Blackthorne learns that Rodriguez is a Spaniard who sails for the Portuguese. They are soon hit by a huge storm, but Blackthorne, who is an experienced pilot, manages to gain control of the ship and save the Japanese sailors. Blackthorne notices that Rodriguez got thrown overboard, so he throws him a plank to hold on to. He urges the Japanese to row, then he takes control of the ship. After they dock, Blackthorne demands to look for Rodriguez and tells the Japanese that it goes against his principles to leave a man behind. John and the Japanese sailors head out to look for him. They find him, and John challenges Lord Yabushige to bring him up by climbing down using a rope. The rope breaks and the Lord falls, but he survives. As he attempts to pull Rodriguez, he slips and gets swept away. He is about to commit harakiri when the sailors throw him some more rope and he manages to climb up to safety. John apologizes to him and bows to him. Lord Toranaga meets with Lady Mariko because he knows she speaks Portuguese. He tells her about the barbarian from the foreign ship, so he needs her to translate for them. He believes Blackthorne could turn the tide for them.